Let's talk about trees. What kind of trees are you going to use to build your log cabin out of? Probably whatever's available on your property. On this property, there's only softwoods. There's ponderosa pine and there's a hemlock, and there's no hardwoods at all. The species of tree is probably going to depend on latitude and elevation. What is the difference between hardwoods and softwoods? Well, hardwoods are trees with broad leaves like oak and maple. And softwood trees have needle-like leaves. Now this is the ponderosa pine. You might not be able to see that. And you can tell different pines apart. But if you see that little brown part at the base of the needle cluster, let's see if I can focus on that. That is called a fascicle. And ponderosa pines have 3 needles in every fascicle. That's how you can tell it's a ponderosa. Other pines have different numbers of needles. Also, one of the cool things about ponderosa pines is that they have this bark that looks like puzzle pieces. Hardwood trees are more dense and heavier and harder to lift and move around. Softwood trees, on the other hand, are lighter and easier to work with. Hardwood trees like oak and maple don't grow very tall before they start branching out. So you might not get a very long log from an oak or a maple. But with trees like the ponderosa pine, they grow very straight and very tall, and they're very consistent in diameter from the bottom to the top. So you could get a 50 or 60-foot log from a ponderosa pine or other pine trees. Some pine trees get moldy after cutting and milling. The thing about pine trees is that the mold spores are inside the tree, living in unison with the tree cells. When you cut the tree down and mill it or debark it, the mold spores get exposed to the air and now have the perfect environment to grow unchecked, oxygen, and moisture. Another good tree species to use is fir. In the West, we have grand fir, and in the East, they have balsam fir. But there are many species of fir trees. There is also Doug fir, which is not a true fir, but it is considered a very strong softwood. Spruce is also a good choice for a log cabin. If I had my choice of trees to use to build my log cabin, I would use cedar because it's naturally rot and insect resistant. And it's a softwood, so it's easy to work with. On the west coast of North America, you will find lots of western red cedar, and on the east coast, you will find white cedar. Cedar leaves kind of look like a series of buds growing out of each other. From a distance, they appear kind of frilly. For all of you taxonomy nerds, there are true cedars and false cedars. True cedars are in the family Pinaceae and in the genus Cedrus. Their leaves are short, evergreen needles in clusters. The female cones are upright and fat, between 3 and 4 inches long. Their wood possesses cedar quality, and they are native to the Mediterranean region and the Himalayas. False cedars are in the family Cupressaceae, mostly in the following genera: Calocedrus, Chamaecyparis, Juniperus, and Thuya. Their leaves are scaly, fan-like sprays. Female cones are very small, about a half-inch long, and remain on the tree long after seed dispersal. The bark is often both reddish and stringy or peely. It is easy to separate them from true cedars, but less obvious to tell them from one another. These false cedars are native to East Asia and northern North America. Western red cedar, or Thuya plicata, is a large evergreen coniferous tree in the family Cupressaceae, or cypress, native to the Pacific Northwest of North America. It grows to 230 feet tall and 23 feet in diameter. The Latin name for the northern white cedar is Thuya occidentalis. Some people call it eastern white cedar.
It is in the cypress family. It is a close relative of the western red cedar, but smaller, growing to 50 feet tall and 3 feet in diameter on average. The bark is reddish brown and peels off in long strips. Northern white cedar is native to an area in the southern part of eastern Canada and the Great Lakes region. It grows naturally in wet forest. These trees can be very long lived. One specimen was found to be 1,653 years old.
And it is freezing out here, so I'm going to go back inside.